we go.
Hello, hello. I am Jean Marie Russo, and I have Jonathan Clark with me, and we have a special guest today, Emma Weaver. And Jonathan is hailing from Scotland, and Emma from Ireland. And my background is Hawaii, and it's part of getting into the feeling of where we're going, what we're doing, and what this is all about. But at first, what we're doing is having a wonderful event that is going to highlight and elevate my speakers of Speaking of Success Inc., and their businesses. But more importantly, this is a global event that we are doing. And it truly is an event. You have conferences and you have meetings and where you go for 1 or 2 days and you're in a conference room just absorbing knowledge and just taking in that education. This is different. The whole platform is different. We are having our signature talks. We are having panel discussions. We will have masterminds, trainings, workshops, one-on-one coaching. And then we intersperse a little culture in there, the Hawaiian culture. We have some training that Jonathan's going to do on Hawaiian huna. And we have the Polynesian Cultural Center with Island Breeze that will truly, truly enrich us. The whole premise of this is to focus on business, on body, mind, and spirit, and on mental health and wellness and financial wellness. And this is primarily for the entrepreneurs. Yes, everyone is invited. It can be for anyone, but our hearts are with the entrepreneurs. It is such a different world now, and it is such a competitive world, and in the online as well as the virtual. But more importantly, we welcome entrepreneurs from all levels, whether you are starting out or whether you are, as an entrepreneur, perhaps been an entrepreneur for 5, 10, 15 years and you're ready to retire. Jonathan is going to touch base with you and share with you how you can work a 5-hour work week. Is that right, Jonathan? That's what he said.
That's what I'm currently doing, and it feels bizarre because I keep having moments of complete panic. I think I'm forgetting something, and then I realize, no, it's actually the absence of stress. It's like, this is normal. I like this. So yeah, we want to help everybody get to that point. We want to help you retire early if you want to retire early, or retire your spouse early if that's a goal of yours. We certainly want you to live longer with all your faculties, with enough energy to chase after the grandkids if necessary. It's a holistic thing. When you see that wheel of life, that daily triangle box with all the nice little cute little segments, career, money, relationships, and it's all separated, that works fine in a personal development training course, but in real life, that's not how we operate. If your health is out of whack, that affects your money, that affects your sleep, that then affects your kids. You're an interconnected whole unit. So it's important. We absolutely are there to make money, make profit, run a business, all that good stuff, and monitor this thing, the mental health, your body, the vessel in which you're a guest. And we're going to be sharing some of the Hawaiian culture, the ancient teachings from ancient Hawaii, which personally have changed my life. I'm a pale Scottish guy from the other side of the world, but I have really strong connections to those islands. And we're going to go back there and give everybody an experience of the mana, the magic that is there. And we have a special guest tonight. We have got a whole bunch of world-class thought leaders coming to the event. Emma is, I suppose, from my neck of the woods in rough kind of way, a fellow Brit. But this lady has some very, very interesting specialisms, and we want to share that with you today and give her a chance to tell you who she is and what she does.
Absolutely. And before you do, Emma, I want to share with everybody, Emma and I met through E&E, Executive Networking Events, Inner Circle, and we met at Chrome Castle. And it was for an event for a week-long mastermind that is truly, truly an experience. And you host some events at Chrome Castle. So I want to make sure you talk about that as well, because that's so exciting. And anybody that has an opportunity to truly embrace that, that is huge. But Emma is in the world of mental health and wellness and financial wellness too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was right on that. But I know she has a profit and a non-for-profit agency, but Emma will be very much a part of our Accelerator Entrepreneurs event that is taking place, our global summit in Hawaii. And the premise and the foundation that we built this on, Emma, is mental health and wellness. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to you and let you share about who you are a little bit, what you're doing, because you've got so many exciting things. I'm truly cannot wait to hear everything that
Thank
you can
so
share.
much. I know. There's some little surprises in there too. Thank you very much, Jean Marie, and thank you so much, Jonathan. Excited to be here at this stage where we're really talking about the magic that's going to happen, and to be part of it means the world, especially because I am the founder of Mental Wealth International, and it's an organization that goes into businesses and helps support to change the cultures of well-being in businesses, understanding the essence of why we all need to have at least strategies or structures in place to make sure that everybody's looking after their mental wealth. And the ripple effect of that is huge, especially if you're an entrepreneur and maybe working on your own. And that silo impact can really impact on your mental health and also your well-being. So truly, I suppose, going forward, the idea is that you need everything. You need to be physically well, you need to be mentally well, and financially well, and you can't do one without the other. It takes all three to keep it going, to find your success. But my background, I suppose, is I worked 23 years managing mental health services across one of our trusts here. I'm from the north of Ireland, and I went to an executive networking event with Karen and Shelley in Crum Castle. I was helping out because Crum was near where I live, so I was helping the two ladies out. And the power of showing up at these events, everybody knows my story. I had a lovely job, the pay was amazing, life was set, and I went to the event and I had a couple of aha moments at the event. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is a whole different world. And I can create impact here in a way that was practically immeasurable, but I mean, really meaningful impact in a way that with my 23 years experience, I wouldn't be held to anything. It could be because there was gaps in services, of course. So 2 weeks after being at the event, I woke up out of my sleep and started writing in a little jotter like this beside my bed, and the whole concept of Mental Wealth International was born from me showing up and being at that event. I have now my own business. I'm able to create meaningful impact in the world in the way that I know from the years experience that I have had that will work. And it's truly meaningful and a serving capacity, as opposed to it being maybe tick boxes or being told what to do. And that is the magic, honestly, of showing up in the right places. So it's important to gift yourself these opportunities, because there's often barriers in our way. If I hadn't shown up to Crum, I would still, and my job was beautiful. I actually had no real complaints, but my life is so different now, and I am showing up in the world in a completely different way, creating impact in the mental health space through Mental Wealth International, allowing me to serve with purpose and show my passion in a completely different way. So that's why this excites me, because I know so many people that are going to attend this event are going to have the same realization or understanding how important it is, especially in the world of business and entrepreneurship, but also how important it is to be looking after yourself holistically. It takes everything. It really takes everything, because it's like this. It's up and down and up and down, but you don't have to do it yourself. So creating the proper networks, and opportunities and learnings. Like, I mean, Jonathan, a 5-hour work week, like, you know,
I
and
know.
still being able to have impact and have your business. And so whether it's you on your own as a solo entrepreneur or you own a business or a company, it's about working smarter, not harder, and understanding the systems. And starting out, that can be really hard. Now, it's coming up on 3 years now this year, but it takes a while to understand it. But if we're able to show people and support people and give our knowledge on how we succeeded it, surely we get people there faster. And that's the importance of it. So mental wealth, obviously mental health and sport is my passion, but I changed the narrative for mental wealth with the idea that we should be looking after our well-being all of the time. Don't wait until you become unwell. Burnout can be huge in business. Don't wait till you get there. If you're maintaining your well-being all of the time, I often liken it, and you've probably heard me say this before, to like a vault. So it's what we do every day, every week, all the time, that help us deposit into our well-being vault. And you fill it and fill it and fill it. And should there ever come a time where you have to dig that little bit deeper or find that extra bit of resilience where you've hit a wall, you're then able to withdraw from the vault. But you're still continuously filling it up all the time. So when issues arrive, you're more problem solving, you're able to respond as opposed to react. But it takes looking after your mental wealth all of the time, and understanding it takes mental well-being, physical well-being, and financial well-being to grow a business and to show up to your highest potential, especially as an entrepreneur. So that's a little, I do loads of other stuff. That's just a little snippet to get us started as to where mental wealth started and a bit about my background.
Amazing. I am loving it, loving it, loving it. You touch on so many good points, and depending on where you are, you hear this, or even though I've known you for a while, I pick up different things each time we meet and talk. And that's the beauty of this. One of the things that you spoke on, it's almost like people have to invest in themselves.
Yes.
And take that as that's okay to do that, to really stop. And even though it's hard, like I know I have a hard time because I love to give and give of myself, give of my time. And for me to pamper me or take care of me, and I have to consciously do it or hear it from someone else to say, hey, it's time to take 5 or go for a dinner or something. Okay, is there some little secrets that you can share with us that maybe I'm not sure if you want to use it for the event, but maybe share one or two?
There are a few things that I do on a daily basis, and then every now and again something more ad hoc. So every day, and consistency is key here. And what I do may not work for you, but consistency is key. And how you know something's working is when you stop doing it and you feel a little bit different, then you know that's what's working for you. So what I do is I do breath work. And I was actually talking about this on a Zoom call with a group of business people here in Ireland. And we talked about breath work, how powerful it is. And you can do it in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you have, but do it every day. And then throughout the day, should you need it. So if you're coming from one meeting to another, you need to reset yourself. You need to recenter yourself. You may only have 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Breath work on point. Learn to do the box breath all the time, whichever one suits you. It's short, snappy, and effective breath work, especially in the business world. But every day I do my breath work, I do my gratitude, and I do my meditation. It's a non-negotiable in my life. Those things are done every day, and I believe that's what helps me maintain optimum well-being all of the time. And then throughout the day, those little resets of breath work all the time, snappy, and just learn to do it. And they're just quick tips, Marie, to be honest with you. There's loads more, but that's definitely a non-negotiable for me on a daily basis.
Isn't it interesting how in the series of these interviews we've been doing with all the speakers that are joining us in Hawaii, isn't it interesting, Jean Marie, how often breath has come up as a topic? Just
Yeah.
about everybody's mentioned
Yeah,
this.
I was just going to say almost every one of them, Jonathan.
The
And I
Hawaiian,
didn't
sorry,
realize that.
I was just going to say the Hawaiians have a beautiful, beautiful philosophy. They looked at a dead person, a dead body, and a living body, and they go, right, what's the two major differences here? One of them has energy, and the other one doesn't. One of them is breathing, and the other one isn't. In fact, the one that's breathing has the energy. Therefore, breath is energy.
Yeah.
Right? Now, we know that from a scientific point of view, when you breathe in oxygen, it combines in your body to create ATP, which gives you energy. The more oxygen you've got in your blood supply, the more alert you are, the more energy you have, the more you can do, the more you're on point, as you said earlier on. The word ha in Hawaiian means breath. And the Hawaiian, the kahuna, the shaman, were renowned for hissing like snakes. There's a famous story of when a rival islander decided to send an army of his troops in canoes over to the big island to take it over. It was actually taken over at one point by a completely different order. So the kahuna, the shaman, all lined up on the beach and breathed in the direction of the incoming army, and all the canoes sank. And they were renowned for
Powerful.
breathing. It's powerful stuff. You know, ha means breath, so ha thy e means breath, right? And everything is based on the amount of energy you have, the amount of mana you have. So it's interesting that came back, because it keeps showing up. It keeps showing up.
So effective.
It does. And could you, and then I'll let you get on. And just for those who are not understanding or learning, I'm a beginner as well. I've heard of the
Box breath.
box breath. Would you either describe it or share the process, please?
So probably different people teach a different way, but the one that I do is, breathe in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, in for 4, hold for 4, and do it continuously. Don't stop. In for 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, hold for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, out for 4, and you do it continuously. It's continuous. You don't.
Okay. Now, is there a difference? I know sometimes you inhale and when you exhale, does it matter if you breathe out of your mouth or out of your nose, or is that an issue?
Different people have different theories around that, so it generally just depends. Now, I am part of an online group that do it every morning. So one morning it could be box breath, the next morning it's actually, Jonathan, it's 7 a.m. our time here, and it's a lovely, beautiful free group on Instagram, and it's just to get people to understand it. But he would very much it's called 5-5-5, so 5 minutes breath work, 5 minutes meditation, 5 minutes gratitude. And he very much then would just in through the nose, out through the mouth, but constant. You don't, for the 5 minutes, you do it constant for 5. So, really be intentional constantly for 5 minutes, and it's a game changer.
And you don't hyperventilate? I mean, I just...
But whenever you start doing it, it probably does feel strange. You can get little tingling sensations, but that's all natural. It's working. Now, I've done it for half an hour full in a space with other people, and you do get strange sensations, but he kind of done like breath work and a meditation at the same time. So you were visualizing somewhere else and doing the breath work. It is one of the most powerful feelings or things that I have ever done. The people get up and left crying, but good crying. It healed them. It's healing as well.
It's therapeutic in and of itself. In Hawaii, there's 4 kinds of breath. There's the 5 elements, and there's a breath for each of the 4. So breathing out and holding it out is the earth element. And if you hold out a breath and keep it out, you can feel you ground yourself. You can feel yourself sinking into the ground. You become really earth. Whereas if you breathe in and hold it in, you're adding the air element to your system. So you become kind of light and fluffy and thinky, right? And you can breathe out, you can breathe in, you can hold it out, you can hold it in. And that affects the elemental balance in your body, which is one of the hidden secrets in yoga. So the reason there is a ratio of in to out or hold to whatever is because it's actually modifying the elemental balance in your body. So different breathing techniques for different purposes. And that's the box breath is nice because it's all of them. So it makes you awake, but it also centers you, grounds you, you're clear and you're energized, but calm all at the same time. It's a nice buy one, get three free, you know.
It's a game changer, especially in business. If you need to be showing up with your A game and you're going from one meeting to another, or maybe something didn't go well and you're trying to show, it's a game changer.
Brilliant.
This is great. This is so, you know, the value right here is priceless.
Everyone watching this right now is going 4, 3.
You know, it's like I want to breathe. And this, so I appreciate that. Oh, okay. So Emma, when you are in Hawaii, you will be doing some talking, and we're going to be you're going to be talking about breath work there. And you have a mastermind training, coaching. What is it that you specifically might be doing?
So my talk is going to be the essence of creating mental wealth in your life. So mental wealth being your optimum mental health and well-being. So I'm going to be sharing some beautiful tips and techniques, and really trying to create the essence of why it is so important, especially in business or entrepreneurship, that allows you to scale up. You know, if you're looking after your mental health, you're putting yourself in that energy, in that space, you're showing up your best self, you're super focused, you're able to create discipline, and it all comes from your mental wealth. So I'm going to be sharing tips around that there. So that's going to be really the essence of what I'm talking about. And then throughout the different days, I suppose, dipping in and dipping out with some lovely little pearls of wisdom that were in my book, Mental Wealth. So I'm going to bring it and I'm going to share it and create a bit more of an understanding around that as well, to, I suppose, to let it unfold, those little bits of magic. And then the workshop's going to be interactive, and it's going to show everybody why thinking a certain way or getting rid of limiting beliefs, because I run a Limitless in Leadership mastermind as well, and it's about working out where we get our thoughts from, why we think like that, and maybe challenging ourselves a little bit. So it's going to be to say food, fun, and facts. So I'm going to bring all those to the interactive workshop as well, and just really let's go deep a little bit. Let's push ourselves out of our comfort zone as well, and really feel fulfilled walking away as well, because I'd like people to come away with practical things that they can do, as well as having aha moments, feeling enlightened and breaking through that glass ceiling.
Oh, that works. That is phenomenal. That is so fully packed, and it truly is worth the time and the effort of anyone who's attending. You pick out what it is that you are needing. And even with a presentation like that, sometimes you get information that you didn't even realize that you did not know or that you needed to hear. And as I shared with Jonathan earlier, and we had talked about this, the entire week, we want to make sure that when people arrive and they say aloha, you are not going to be the same person when you leave and say aloha.
Oh, that's powerful.
And we,
you know what I feel? Sure. I feel that's guaranteed. I believe that's guaranteed. That is so whether you've been to an event like this before or this is your very first, I believe that that's what's going to happen. And you just have to be open to the magic and connecting with people. So, you know, when we're there, even though okay, we're speaking and we're doing workshops, let's connect. Let you know what I mean? Let's add the value there and understand each other, and then continue it even afterwards through connections. Because, you know, it was 2 weeks later I woke up out of my sleep, but it was definitely attending that event is what created the whole thing. So it goes in subconsciously, and when you're ready, it's a game changer.
And you have to be open to hear that or to respond to that gift, and not just poo-poo it or put it aside, if you will, truly.
100%. And that's why it's so important. And whenever I was saying, you know, I truly feel when I attend events like this, I'm gifting myself time and energy to be with other people, but I mean, you get it back tenfold. You always get it back. So whatever investment or gift that you're giving yourself to attend this, you get it back tenfold. It's through your connections, you know, through the wealth of knowledge that you're going to hear, because it's all different people. So even though my background's mental wealth and I'm talking about the wealth of your mindset, you also then, it creates abundance. So then if you're an entrepreneur, a person in business, or maybe, you know, just starting out, what you're going to learn through everybody attending and myself also creates abundance. So the ripple effect financially of that, so you get everything back tenfold.
Wow. Jonathan, what do you feel about this? This
Yeah,
is
oh, you know how I feel about it. I've been to Hawaii 5 times. I can't get enough of the place. I love the fact, Emma, that you're a living example of this. You're a living example of, you know, entrepreneurs are paid to create solutions to problems.
Yeah.
And we have aha moments, we have inspirations, and sometimes we don't act on them, and then we find someone else in our universe did, and then we regret not doing it. But if you get that psychic nudge, you know, that download arrives one day and you go, oh, okay, I need to do something with this. You've actually done it. And I think 1 in 5 businesses survives 5 years. And every year that you survive, you double your chances of getting there. So you're in year 3. So you're well on your road. Well done.
And I don't do it by myself. You know,
No.
I need to connect with other people. I need to be inspired. I need to understand why certain things are the way they are. And it's only through connecting.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things we intend to do. Like, one of my frustrations would be I would go to a big event and there'd be a particular speaker that really resonates with me, and I'm like, oh, I'd love to get 5 minutes with you, but they're off on their plane, they're away, they've left, they've gone, and the only way you're going to see them again is if you spend another 4 figures at the next event, and even then you might only get a snippet of them. I remember getting Tony Robbins' autograph at the end of one of his firework seminars and reverting to being a 5-year-old girl. But getting past his security to the point where I could actually talk to the guy was hard work. That's one of the things we want to avoid. We also want to be focusing on networking. I have this vision of not really getting any work done because we're walking down corridors going, Emma, how are you doing? Just grabbing people, you know, networking with people we've seen on Zoom for the last 3-4 years, but haven't met properly first. So that's going to be happening. And also we're going to be matchmaking. We're going to be doing facilitated networking. So we're literally going to be going, right, who do you want to speak to? Who's a good angel investor for you? Or who's a good golden goose for you? Right. Who do we have on our roster here? You know, and make that resource. I think people are your biggest resource. I once suggested to a major British personal development speaker, why don't we get a list of everybody in the room and what their number 1 goal is, and make that available to everybody? Because then I guarantee there's someone in this room who could help me with my goal, and I guarantee there's someone in this room that I could help get theirs. And he went, nah, that'll never work.
okay.
I was like, oh man. You know, so I think it would. So yeah, it's going to be magical. It's absolutely going to be magical.
No, and I think, Jonathan, even to that last story, I mean, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
And the positive, I think I mean, and I feel it with all the meetings that we're having with the individuals, the positive energy that we are promoting, and that it's just building the excitement, but we have a reason to be excited. I mean, we've got people like Emma that are the experts. These individuals have the competencies, the knowledge, skills, and experience. You could get knowledge by going to a class and having a download of the information and just reading, taking the knowledge. But what we are bringing is experience, our life experiences, where we have gone, and even the mistakes or the failures that have taken place. We turn them into understanding, and yes, learning moments, teaching moments. But a lot of what we're doing for the accelerator, right, and Jonathan, the accelerator entrepreneurship, is to share even some of the failures, so that our audience does not have to go down that road. We're giving you some of our best kept secrets, and I think that is truly, truly special. Emma, could you share, because I know you have a non-for-profit, can you share how that came to be, what it is, and is there something, what is the difference, I guess, between your two platforms, if you will, rather
Well,
than
I
just
suppose Mental Wealth International it's a business, and that's how it's set up to allow me to go out into companies and support their well-being. The idea around that is reducing, I suppose, sick leave, staff turnover, retaining staff, and just generally have well-being. And construction's actually my biggest client, which is amazing to be over here. But the not-for-profit, it supports females to get started, to start up in entrepreneurship while supporting well-being as well, because quite often well, I suppose just the one particular one that I'm involved with, Evolve, it's more about the essence of reducing the barriers that are in place that maybe we place on ourselves as well, especially with our well-being and all the other constraints that I suppose are put on us or we put on ourselves at times, to really build confidence and competence and upskilling people as well. So I do believe if you give people the right tools, it's like everything else. If you give people the right tools, they will learn to create a life for themselves, whatever that is, and flourish. But sometimes you need to hold people's hands along the way to get on in life, regardless of what it is, and to just help people thrive. It doesn't mean you've got to build a big empire. It's whatever it is that you feel in your life to help you thrive, to whether survive or live a meaningful life. And surely that's what it's all about. It's a life with meaning to give us hope and keep us going.
Could you, and that is, you're so spot on with each of those messages, if you will, as a resource. So is it more like, is it a suicide hotline? Is it counseling? Is it maybe once they do an intake, do you refer them to perhaps more other resources, if you will?
Well, there would be a cohort of mentors available. So again, it's about getting people in, because one person can't do everything. So it's about getting people in and directing them. So whether it's counseling, whether it's a mentor, whether it's a buddy system, we call that here, where someone to walk alongside you that maybe doesn't necessarily have all those qualifications but has life experience and life skills. So there's a whole cohort of people there, and of course just naturally through what I do suicide prevention. What's that?
I'll just a wee bit of echo.
Oh, sorry. Naturally there is suicide prevention. We get involved in campaigns as well around mental health, well-being, reducing stigma around it. So it's a whole cohort of experiences, and we like to make sure that we're not reactive all the time, that we already have put the resources in place to make sure that support's available for people.
Wonderful. And you are in Ireland, but this is going to be heard globally, and we definitely, anything I do, it has to have that global influence, and we're with Jonathan as well. So from a global perspective, if someone were to contact you, you have those resources, or
100%.
you're able to.
So globally we're able. So what happens then as well is you can upskill people to get mental health first aid so that they're able to support people in their community globally. We do it all the time. So whether it's online or in person, that you're able to upskill people with mental health first aid. And the ripple effect of that is that it's within your culture. People understand it, and it's recognized to give people the confidence and competence to support each other, because it's very, very important to support people where they're at. So even though we're talking global, it's about supporting people in their communities to be able to support the people in their communities. And that has been proven to be the most effective way to do it, as opposed to maybe somebody ringing up and maybe in Ireland and you being, I don't know, in New York. I'm just using that off the top of my head. Whereas if we're able to upskill the people in New York to support the people in that area, it's been proven to be far more effective. So it's about empowering people to support themselves and others. And usually, quite often, you find if somebody's been through hard times or has experienced anything in their lives, lived experience, sometimes people like that are the best support. Gives hope, doesn't it?
Oh,
I love that. In,
1,000%.
in Glasgow, there was a thing called the Clutha disaster, a little pub called the Clutha Arms on the corner of the River Clyde, and a police helicopter was flying over it, and the engine cut out. And the pilot tried to get the helicopter to ditch in the river, but unfortunately missed by about 100 yards and crashed into the roof of a pub on a Saturday night when it was packed. I mean, this place was small and it was wall to wall packed with people, and this whirling pair of scissors came down at high speed and it caused carnage. One of my clients was able to crawl out of it and helped a few other people, dragged a few other people out of it. He's now an advocate for mental health, and he goes into corporations and he teaches people about how to recover from PTSD and trauma and stuff. And, you know, if you look at from a credibility standpoint, if you had 5 people looking to help you with mental health trauma, who are you going to talk to? Like, the guy's got his certification, you know, he's been there, lived it and done it. And I love it when people go from traumatized to healed and then to healer.
Yeah.
And I think they're far more qualified to help other people because they have been there, they've walked through the fire, they know exactly what the situation is, or they know something similar. And I would always trust somebody more than someone who's got a fancy certificate on their wall if they've actually been through the lived experience. I think it's a great thing. That's a fantastic thing. I like your phrase,
100%.
mental health first aid. I've never heard that before. I like that a lot.
Oh gosh, that's what we do, and we train mental health first aiders.
I like that a lot.
That is truly, truly very, very much what the world needs. And to recognize where we are at, what we are doing during that 1 week. You will be hearing so many speakers and listening and being able to connect with Emma and our other speakers. And perhaps you're recognizing, you know, I do have an issue, I do have a concern. It can be asked privately, it can be communicated to you. We will have your contact information. And I know we usually ask Jonathan, we ask at the end, but I'm going to have Emma give it now. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
For mental wealth, where people can get information of what's
right.
So Mental Wealth International is on all social media, but the website is mentalwealthinternational.com. So you'll get all the information. And again, there is a button if somebody had a question before the event or during the event, and because mental health can be such a personal topic. So there could be questions pre-event that I'll be able to address when we're there, and indeed after the event as well, because I quite often find, as you said, it might trigger someone. Sometimes we don't know. We've got limiting beliefs or where it came from, but there's one thing I do know: if you address that limiting belief, it just excels you beyond, it sets you free of whatever it is and allows you to be your best self. So people can catch me on my website, and it's interactive, or across all the social medias, which is Mental Wealth International.
Mental Wealth International. Is it .org, .com, .net?
.com.
Okay. Yeah. All right. mentalwealthinternational.com. I love it. Love it. Okay. Jonathan, anything more? Did I miss anything? Are we? Oh, I know. I wanted to ask you, Emma. So now, can you share with us just a little bit about, share a secret about what you and Karen are doing, or maybe a little bit, because you've been awarded so many different awards that I'm very proud of you, and it's so well deserving. But you are doing something very, very special, and I just want the world to know.
Thank you very much. There'd be a few little things that I'd be up to when I'm not writing books or getting into mental wealth. I also create TEDx. So I create TED. I've done 2 myself, but I now help other people through my TEDx license become TEDx speakers as well, sharing the message across the world. But with my beautiful sister Karen, who lives in Australia, she flies home every year, and her and I host an event in Crum Castle. Now this year it's from the 6th to the 16th of November. and there's like 2 sets of people. It's just the way it's working. So from the 6th to the 10th, there's one group of people, and then from the 11th to the 16th, there's another group of people, and we've got some amazing special guests that come every year. I'm actually not allowed to tell who they are. It's a bit of it's not so much that it's a top secret, it's more security thing, you know, these people that have more security, but it will go out over socials once it's signed off and we're allowed. So please watch this space. I'll put it up across my personal socials, which is Emma Weaver. But there's some very one of the ladies is a global humanitarian, and she's very, very well known and mentioned a few times for some famous hosts. I know it sounds very cryptic, but if you look it up, you'll work out who it is. I'm probably just not allowed to say it. But anyway, these amazing people are coming to the castle. So it's going to be a week long. Some people are going to write their books. And can you imagine, and you've been there, Jean Marie, an Irish castle in the middle of nowhere, deers literally frolicking along the field. It's the only lived-in castle in Ireland. So Lord Aaron and his wife do live in the castle. They actually live in the castle, and we rent all of the castle. And it's going to be some beautiful retreat and peaceful time for people to write. And then we also have speakers days where, so there's guests coming from America, there's guests coming from Australia, and there's also local people as well. And we'll have a speakers day, which allows people to become internationally known as a speaker, whatever their topic is. And then we've got some special guests that are going to come to the Gala Awards and talk about humanitarian efforts, changing the world at a time, and just some influential people, other than us, of course. But it's all the details are on socials. Yes, Serenity Press Retreats.
Okay, and that is and Serenity Press is what
Karen's.
Karen,
yeah, that's Karen's press. Yeah.
Yes, and Karen.
We've been doing this from 2000 let me see, 17. Running retreats, and they've just grew and grew and just became global. And indeed that's how Karen and Shelley got together then and ran the first ever ENE event, was through Karen and myself doing it through the Serenity Press retreats, and they're very popular.
Truly, and that is happening right after our Hawaii event, so I'm very excited for that and for you.
So beautiful.
both.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for your time.
Oh my goodness, absolutely. So Jonathan,
Yes.
shall we talk a little bit about the Hawaii trip now?
Yeah, let's do a quick summary and take you through exactly what's happening, because we've been talking about it for this whole period of time here. Yeah, there's 3 main aspects to what we're doing at the Entrepreneurs Accelerator Summit, as we're calling it. This is not a conference or a weekend seminar. It's a 7-day event, and it will be eventful, that's for sure. So yes, there's 3 core pillars to it. The first is absolutely about being an entrepreneur, about making money, about leaving a legacy, making impact, all the good things that entrepreneurs are known for doing and should be doing. But we're also going to be talking about mental health and wellness, as Emma's talked about. This is your biggest asset. You know, if you're the business owner and this goes out of whack, the business is out of whack. So we need to keep this thing going. And how long could your business run without you? If it can't run without you, then something needs to change. So absolutely love Emma's idea of filling that vault, putting in the sweat equity, and having that resource to tap into, because there are times when you're going to need to dig deep and call on it. And we're also going to be talking about the body, mind, spirit aspect. We are on a sacred location in the Hawaiian Islands on an astrological event date. I don't know what else we could do to make this a big deal. It's on every level. It's going to be magical. So the invite for you right now watching this is, do you want to come and join us? Do you want to come and spend a week in Hawaii with us in October? It's October 22nd to the 29th. It's in Kona, which is on the west coast of the big island of Hawaii. And it's going to be phenomenal. Our aim is to get you to shorten your work week. If we can get you down to 5 hours a week, imagine an hour a day, Monday to Friday, or 5 hours on a Monday and have the rest of the week off. Can we get you down to a 5-hour work week? Can we have you live longer? Can we add 10 years, 20 years to your lifespan, where you have all your faculties, you're flexible, and you've got the energy to keep up with the grandchildren? And can we retire you early? Can we have you finish early, or have you retire your spouse early? These are the kind of goals that we're looking to help you create. That means working less hours, but making more money, taking that life-work balance and flipping it So it's work-life balance. It's you don't live to work. You work to earn money to pay for the lifestyle that you want to have. And unfortunately, there's too many people on their deathbeds wishing that he'd been to the office more often. No, that's not what you're going to regret. So it's about life in general. Talking about leaving a legacy, training your body to generate and store more energy. As Emma's talked about, breath work and various other methods we're going to teach you, some ancient Hawaiian secrets that are 40,000 years old, and a bunch of other things as well. AI, cybersecurity. If you've got an idea for a product, we can have it live and online the same day. We can have you write a book in a very, very fast pace of time. We can have you create online courses in a ridiculously short pace of time. So lots of things we're going to do. The 7-Day Entrepreneur Summit, we're pricing at $7,444. It is a week in Hawaii, so, you know, it can be expensive. We thought, what else could we do to make it even more juicy? How about if we keep all the trainers in the building? How about, rather than the speakers leave and you wish you could ask them more questions, what if we kept all the delegates and all the trainers and all the speakers in the same place for the full 7 days? So you can be networking in the corridors and having a chat out in the garden, on the beach, with any of the speakers anytime you want. It's the King Kamehameha Resort, the Marriott Hotel in Kona. It's a sacred location. It's where King Kamehameha's bones were laid out to bleach in the sun after they were taken away and buried. And it's happening on an astrological event. So it is a bit of a big deal. So you're thinking, okay, that sounds quite good. What else do I get? Well, we thought, why don't we add a firewalk into the bargain? You've probably heard of firewalking. Tony Robbins made firewalking quite popular in the 80s. I've done it 5 times with Tony. However, firewalking has been around for thousands of years. It originally started in India, but it was also prevalent in Hawaii. Hawaiians used to walk across recently cooled lava. Think about that for a minute. Recently cooled lava. If anyone committed a crime in Hawaii, they would take the entire population of the town and make them walk across the lava one at a time. And the person who burned was the person who committed the crime. Interesting law enforcement method. So we can do a firewalk. Why the heck not? If you've never done it before, it's a phenomenal experience. It's not about the rah-rah and the glitz of it. It's about, here's something that you think is terrifying and impossible. And 30 seconds later, you've done it and it was no big deal. And that's the point. What else are you making into a big, hideous monster that actually isn't? We're also going to have the Island Breeze Luau. The luau is a feast. It's a spread. So we're going to have you under the tiki torches, eating Hawaiian food, being entertained by Hawaiian hula, listening to Hawaiian chants under Hawaiian sky. Okay, it's a phenomenal event. I've been to a few luau's and they are fabulous fun. So that's included in the package. That comes to around about $12,500 worth of value. If all it did was cut your working week down to a 5-hour working week, would it be worth spending a week in paradise with us at all? If all it did was added 10, 20, 30 years to your life where you have all your faculties and you're physically healthy, would that be worth your while? If it allowed you to retire 5 years early or retire your spouse 5 years early, would it be worth it? It would be a good deal at $12,500. Our retail price is $7,444. What we're doing at the moment is an early bird price that we've been running for the last couple of weeks. It's $5,444 right now. That is 2 meals a day, your accommodation, and the training with access to everybody there and everything we've talked about. All you need to do is get there. So acceleratedentrepreneur.org is the website you can go to. You can see all the ticket options. You can see all the speakers. You can do a 3D walkthrough of the location. Check out the accommodation, flight details, everything's on that website that you would need. We're also going to be doing a live book launch. So we're doing an anthology book. All the speakers are writing a chapter. We're going to combine all that and we're going to do a Rush the Charts campaign on Amazon to try and get #1 bestseller while we're actually there. We'll probably live stream that and have a ball doing that stuff. It's good fun. If you or anyone you know is involved in the military, they're in the armed forces or they've served in the military, we are offering a 20% discount. Hawaii has a big connection with both the Army and the Navy and the Air Force. So we want to make sure that this is available to veterans and serving members of the armed forces. So you have a choice. You can either see us every day, all day, posting posts and social media and videos and testimonials and success stories and thinking to yourself, I wish I'd gone to Hawaii. Or you could go to the website, book a ticket and join us in Hawaii, baby. It's quite easy. acceleratedentrepreneur.org. Go and have a look. All of this stuff is included in your week. All you need to do is find the flights We're also offering funding options. So if that still looks a little bit rich for you, we have got some funders and backers who can actually help you with the price. 15 different lenders. You can make payments on this, and the first payment wouldn't be for 30 days. So we're trying to make it really easy for you to come to Hawaii and join us and allow us to help you change your life. Please let us help you change your life. Little bonus for anybody who comes along, we're going to be giving you the traditional Hawaiian way of doing ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono was a process in Hawaii where you buried the hatchet, you got clear, you said whatever you needed to say, and the other person got to say what they needed to say, and it was done, forgiven and forgotten, and you moved on, right? That's called ho'oponopono. It means to make clean. And anytime you double a word in Hawaiian, it makes it doubly powerful. So it's make it really, really, really clean. And we're going to give you a meditation audio that actually walks you through the process in your head so you can do it yourself forevermore. But we're actually going to end the 7 days by me taking you through that process in person. And for the first time anybody does it, it's usually profound. It is not a 10-word affirmation that was made popular by a particular internet marketer who wrote a book criticizing how ineffective 10-word affirmations are, and then spent the rest of the book teaching you a 10-word affirmation. That is not traditional Hawaiian huna, and we'd like to teach you the real deal. So check it out on acceleratedontrepreneur.org. Everything is there that you need to see. Prices, tickets, everything else is there. End of commercial. Anything else we need to talk about tonight?
Oh, no, I'm just like really
How do you top
excited.
that?
Well, we think it's a good idea, you know.
We do. Emma, one of the people that will be one of the celebrities that will be there as well is Robert Rednati. And Robert Rednati is a protege of Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he is one of 100 of the certified trainers. Tony Robbins is certified as well with Dr. Dispenza. But I just share that with you because that is the level. I mean, you are the epitome with the mental health and wellness and what we are doing. We are serious about this and we care, and this is just the beginning. So we really invite people to be there. We have just some stellar people, and I'm just so excited to see you in person again. And
I suppose what I just really want to say, Jamie, before we finished, I've had conversation with you, obviously, previously and prior to this, and I know firsthand the effort and the thought process and the heart that has went into this is what makes it so special as well. Like even the dates, even what's happening around it, the location is special. So everybody's going to come away, and I said this earlier on, you know, a different person spiritually, in business. People are going to feel more resilient, a bit more understanding of what, you know, obviously we're talking about wellness and financial well-being and creating businesses as well, but you don't get that without the experience. And I genuinely know from talking to you on other calls that you have really thought this through, how you can serve and create the most impact to everybody that attends. And it's a credit to you.
Thank you.
oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Cool.
That's a wonderful. I can't say anything because I'm going to start to cry. So
You weren't expecting me to say that, but I just want people
No.
to know it's been all thought of. So yeah.
Thank you very much.
Gratitude of the heart. Thank you. Jonathan, I'll let you close and we can say our aloha and hui ho,
We can.
which means
Yeah, hui ho means till we meet again. Aloha means, I think Sandra Bullock made it famous that aloha means hello and goodbye. So you never really say goodbye to anybody in Hawaii because you're just going to say aloha again. But aloha means welcome, share my space, share my breath. Ha is breath. So you often see them rubbing foreheads and sharing the space, sharing the breath. It's definitely done with the aloha spirit. We're absolutely walking into an ancient culture, and we want to bow our heads and you know, honor that, because we're going to a very special place. We're a bunch of howlies. We're a bunch of white people who don't breathe. Ha means breath. Ole means without. And one of the things that the Hawaiians noticed about Westerners is that we don't breathe. Although after this 7 days in Hawaii, we will all be breathing properly.
We will all be breathing.
Thanks to Emma. But yeah, so we're howlies. We're the tourists. But we're absolutely going there with the blessings and permission we've had an acknowledgement, I think you could say, Jean Marie, that what we're doing is the right thing. There's obviously been the fires in Maui as well, which is a different island, it has to be said. Maui's back open for business again, but there's a lot of people who've lost their homes and lost their businesses. And as a collection of entrepreneurs, I think it'd be really nice if we could do something to help them there, not for attention, not for significance, just quietly be able to help people. And that's another reason why we want to get there. I think it's really significant that happened in the run up to our event. And I think, isn't it interesting that we're all going to be heading there shortly thereafter? We could probably do a lot of good at that point. So,
Yeah, yes.
So, mahalo is thank you. And ahui ho is till we meet again.
Ahiho.
And we will see you guys later. Well done.